Assalamu alaikum. Have a good day. Welcome to Financial Management eLearning. We are going to discuss management information. Management information, it is the domain of calculate unit cost. We are in Module 7. Today we'll discuss activity-based costing. What is activity-based costing? It is an approach to costing that focus on activities as the fundamental cost object. It uses the cost of these activities as the basis for assigning cost to other cost objects such as products, service, or customers. So look here, the activities, and then cost of activities, then cost objects such as product, service, and customer. So based on the activity-based costing, the stage of implementation. It is if we see this diagram, number one, identify the activities. What we have to do here, we have to identify the activities in an organization that assigning cost to cost pool. That means assigning cost to cost pool for each activity, and then identifying cost derives, identifying what influences the cost of the activities. Then assign cost to products. That means assigning the cost of activities to the products, and then we'll get the final product cost with this adding the overhead cost. Traditionally, resource direct allocated to the based on the basis allocated to the object, and we receive the total product cost. And now activities and allocate to the resource. So activity costing. So activity-based costing is a costing method that identifies activities in our organization and assigning the cost each activity to all products. This model designed more indirect cost, that is overhead, into direct cost compared to conventional costing. So it is a costing method which identifies activities with a firm perform and then assign to indirect cost to the object. So basically there are 5 steps. One is identify the cost, complete product, and assign complete product. What is this? Activity is any process or procedure that consumes overhead resource. That means purchasing material, setting up material, running material, assembling product, inspecting finished product, etc. And then assigning overhead cost to the activities identified. What's in the step 1? This step requires the overhead cost associated with each activity be assigned to the activity. That means that is a cost pool is formed of each activity. And then identify the cost derived for each activity. The cost derived is the action that cause or drive the cost associated with the activities. So I have to identify the cost derived and then calculate the predetermined overhead rate for each activities. This done by the dividing the estimated overhead cost divided by the cost by the estimated level of cost derived activity that we find from the steps 3, and then 5, allocate overhead cost to the product. Overhead cost are allocated to products by multiplying the predetermined overhead rate for each activities. Activity-based costings. Basically, we can say there are 5 steps. So the process of activity-based costing is the same as we will discuss here in the steps. That means identifying the activity and activity pools directly trace to the estimated cost to the activities and cost object, and assign cost to the activity cost pools, and then calculate activity cost deriving rate, then assign cost to the cost derived, and prepare report. So now the advantages of activity-based costing, it helps to reduce cost. Activity-based cost is working only on the activities. So activities can be classified into two: value-adding accounting and non-value activities. And the relationship between cost and its cost can be properly understood through the activity-based costing. Accurate allocation of the cost of various products, and the accurate cost information help to management for adopt productivity improvement approach like TQM and business process reengineering. The management can make or buy decision through easily with using this overhead allocation method, activity-based costing. So if the available resource cannot be used to properly even after conducting the manufacturing of any product, the management can do the activity-based manufacture of such product within the firm. So it is the main positive thing. And so what would be the negative? Negative is that the activity-based costing is not useful to small companies. Not useful to small companies. If the overhead are relatively small, there is no use of ABC. Some companies are producing only one product or few products, so there is no need for using activity-based costing, not applicable for that company. An activity-based costing method should not be used to prepare monthly profit statement. Look here, industry. In the transport industry, its unit cost is per passenger kilometer or per ton kilometer. It is a part of management information. And the power, the per kilowatt. Okay. And the hotel, per room day or per meal. And a hospital, per patient per day. And we see the oil refinery industry, the method using costing, process costing, and bicycle manufacturing company use multiple costing, and interior decorator job costing, airlines operating costings. So now you will see a few examples, or we will solve few problems regarding activity-based costing. Here, look here. If wire produce an inkjet printer that sells 150 and laser printer that sells 350. So two types of printers. And last year the total overhead cost at 10,50,000 were allocated based on the direct labor hour. The total of 15,000 direct labor hours were required last year to build 12,000 inkjet printer, 1.25 hours per unit, and 10,000 direct labor hours were required to build 4,000 laser printer. That means 2.5 hours per unit. Total direct labor and direct materials cost for the year were as follows. Look here. So here two printers, inkjet printer and laser printer. So a direct material of 5,40,000 for inkjet and 3,20,000 laser, and a direct labor it is 6 lakh for inkjet and laser for 4 lakh. The management of FIR would like to use activity-based costing to allocate overhead rather than use one plant-wise rate with the direct labor hours. The following estimates are for the activities and related costs derived identified as given the greatest impact of the overhead cost. So if we see here the estimated cost drive activity, look here, activity production run, its cost drive is number of production run. So estimated overhead cost 4 lakh, inject 4 lesser 10, total 50. It is the estimated cost drive activities. And quality inspection cost drive would be inspection hour. So estimated overhead cost $2,50,000, and estimated cost drive activity inject use 1,200 hour, laser use 2,800 hour, total 4,000 hour. And packaging and shipping, it is the cost drive number of units shipped. Estimated overhead cost 4 lakh. Packaging and shipping is the activities, and cost drive is number of units shipped, and total estimated overhead cost is 4 lakh dollar, and inject use is 12,000, 12 laser is 4,000, total 16,000. So what would be the requirement is calculate the direct material cost. So we have to calculate the direct material cost per unit and direct labor cost per unit for each product. So let's first we do it. Look here. So in jet printer and a laser printer, total direct material cost. So cost per unit of direct material, total direct material cost 5,40,000, and laser 3,20,000. So these 5,40,000, 3,20,000. Unit produce 12,000 and 4,000. 12,000 and 4,000. So 12,000 and 4,000. If we divide it, then we'll get direct material cost per unit. $45 per unit for inkjet printer and $80 per laser printer. And the cost per unit of the direct labor, we'll calculate it here as per the question. The total labor cost is 6 lakh and 4 lakh for laser printer. Look here, 6 lakh and 4 lakh. So if we divide the number of units, 12,000 units and 4,000 units, we will get direct labor cost per unit is $50 for inkjet printer, and laser printer is $100. So as per the requirement 1, we calculate, we have calculated the total cost per unit of direct material is for inkjet printer $45 per unit, and laser printer for 80 unit, and direct labor cost $50 per unit for inkjet printer and $100 per unit for a laser printer. Now number 2, using the plant-wise allocation method, calculate the predetermined overhead rate and determine the overhead cost per unit for inkjet and laser product. So look here, the plant-wise allocation based on the direct labor hour, it would be inkjet printer require 1.25 direct labor hour as per the question. To build the laser printer take 2.5 direct labor hour to build. Both figures provided in the data. So 52.5 in overhead is allocated to 1 unit of the inkjet product. How? 42 multiplied by 1.25 direct labor hour to build, and the laser printer take 2.5 direct labor hour to build. Both figures are provided in the problem data, if you see here, and we can say $52.5 in overhead is allocated to build 1 unit of inkjet product. How? 42 multiplied by 1.25 hours. And same way, 42 multiply 2.5 direct labor hour, we will get 1.5 overhead for the laser printer. So each is the predetermined overhead rate. 2. What is the cost per unit? 2. So cost per unit is direct material. We have received it from look 45 and 80 and direct labor 50 and 100. These figures here, and overhead we just allocated here is 52.5 and 105. So total product cost per unit 147.5 and 285. Now requirement 3, using the activity based costing. Word. Calculate the predetermined overhead rate for each activity. So we have seen here, the activity. There are 3 activities. Look here. So activities, 3 activities here, and as per the given cost derived in the question, and now estimated total cost, and if estimated cost derived activity, and we divide with the estimated cost by the estimated cost derived activity, then we'll get determining overhead rate. Okay, so production run, number of production run, cost is a 4 lakh divided by 50 times its run, so $8,000 per run expense. So quality inspection, same way, 62.50 per inspection hour. And packaging and shipping, number of units shipped, that means $25 per unit shipped. Predetermined rate of each activity is these 2. Using the activity-based costing allocation method, allocate overhead to each product. So now, overhead allocation for each product. Look here, activities. There are 3 activities: production run, quality inspection, packaging and shipping, and predetermined overhead just to calculate here, and a cost driver activities for inject printer. This means here inject printer drive activities. Look here, 40, 1,200, 12,000. Same way laser 10, 2,800, 4,000. So based on that, based on this figure, look here, 40, 1,200 and 12,000. It if multiply by 8,000, multiply by 40, then we'll get 3,20,000. Same way, if we multiply this and this, then we'll get 6,95,000. And same way, cost derived activity for the laser printer, if we multiply 10 with 8,000, we'll get 80,000. Same way, 4,000 multiplied by 25, then we'll get 1 lakh, total 3,55,000. So both, if we add, we will get 10,50,000. This is the total cost is 10,50,000. So total components overhead cost 10,50,000 and overhead cost per unit for each product. Here 58 and here 89. How? If we divide 6,95,000 with the number of units produced, so what is the number of units? 12,000 and 4,000 for laser printer. Then we will get $58 for inkjet printer and $89 for laser printer. So it is the overhead cost are allocated. Okay. Now, if we see the requirement 3, what is the product cost per unit? Okay. So product cost per unit would be direct material 45 for inkjet printer, direct labor for 50 and overhead 50, total for $150 $153, and laser printer $269. The cost per unit is $153 for inkjet and laser $269. Number 4. Calculate the cost per unit of each product using the plant-wise approach and the activity-based costing approach. Comment of the difference between the result of two approaches. So if we do it, look here, plant-wise allocation, material, labor, overhead, and total product cost is 147.50, and laser 285, and sales price 150 and 350. So profit 2.50, 65. Look here, material 45, direct labor, overhead, so it's 153, but we are selling is 150, so here loss occurring $3. And laser printer, it is profit 81 per unit. So what would be the comment? The unit product cost do not change significantly for the inkjet printer where activities costing is used. It is now here 147.5 to 153. The cost increase enough to result in $3 loss for each unit. The laser printer cost decreased significantly from 285 to 269 per unit when using the activity-based costing, resulting in a profit of 81 per unit. The shift of overhead cost to the inkjet printer to primarily result for the inkjet printer using 80% of the production run resource, and thus being assigned 80% of the overhead cost assigned to the production run. The plant-based rate approach only assign 60% of all overhead costs to the inkjet printer, including this related to product run. 60% equal to 50,000 index direct labor cost divided by 25,000 of total direct labor hours. So this way, based on the activities, this activity-based costing, if the company shifted their selling price or increased selling price from 150 to more, then an inkjet printer will make profit. So I have to determine the selling price after getting this scenario. Now another one, activity-based costing approach. A company manufacturing two products A and B using common facilities. Unit produce for A and B 1,000 and 2,000. Direct labor hour per unit 2 or 3 hour. Machine hour per unit 6 and 1.5. Setup machine 15 and 50. Order 18 and 70. And machine activity expenses to relax. Setup relating expenses 30,000. Expense relating to order 35,000. So calculate the overhead based on the activities. If we see here between machine hour, look here, 6 multiplied by 1,000, so required 6,000 hours for product A and 3,000 hours for product B, and set up 15 as given in the question, 15, 50, 18 and 70. We are putting in here. And overhead absorption rate is relating to a machine 3 lakh divided by 9,000 hours. What would be 9,000? 600 plus 3,000 is the total. So if we divide it to the machine, so machine activity expenses would be 34 taka per hour. Okay, and the setup total expense is 30,000 divided by 65. What will be 65? 15 plus 50. So if we divide it, per unit cost is 462 per setup. And again, we're calculating the ordering cost. So here 35,000 divided 88. So 18 plus 17 is 88. So per order cost is 398. So overhead absorbed for the product A, 6,000 unit, 6,000 multiplied by 34 plus 15 multiplied by 462 here, and 18 multiplied by 398. So we'll get to 18,094. Same way for the product B, we get a 1,52,096. So it is okay. Now unit cost under absorption costing and marginal costing here. Okay. So company, normal costing basis, direct material for taka 4 kg require, direct material require 4 kg per kg taka 4. So 16 taka. 3 hours 18 taka, 24, variable overhead 12, and fixed overhead in total 100 taka. And very well, 20 per unit, fixed 7,60,000. During the year, the following activity done: unit produced 24,000, sold 20,500, unit selling price 168, direct labor hours worked 72,000. So actual fixed overhead was 48,000 less than the budgeted fixed overhead. Budgeted variable overhead is 20,000 less than that actual variable overhead. The company used an expected actual activity level 72,000 direct labor hours to compute the predetermined overhead. To compute the unit cost for total under absorption and marginal costing and under and over absorbed overhead. It is the computation of unit cost and total income under absorption and marginal cost. So look, here is the unit cost under absorption, under marginal. So under absorption, direct material 60, direct labor 54, variable overhead 12. So what is, look here, 16, 54, 12, and fixed 18. Okay, total 100. It is the under absorption costing as per question. But under marginal costing, fixed overhead will not add with this figure. So it's come 82 only, direct material, direct labor, and variable overhead. Income statement under absorption costing, look here, sell 21,500 unit, 168 taka selling price. Look here, this one 168 taka. So 21,500 unit, 61, 36 lakh 12. Cost of goods sold 21,500, 100 taka. It's the cost of goods sold. This one 100. And less over absorbed 80,000. Over absorption 28,000. How we calculate it? Both fixed and variable overhead applied 72,000 hours, taka 10, 760. Actual overhead 384 plus 3 lakh and 3,08,000. So difference is over absorption 28,000. This 28,000 is come here 21,22,000. And if we add the selling and distribution expenses as per the question, 11,90,000. Okay, then we will get profit 3 lakh. Now under marginal costing, sell amount is the same as we calculated just now. Cost of goods sold, look here, 82, this 82 multiplied by 21,500 units. So here, And we have to add under absorption. How we calculate under absorption? Overhead was 20,000 less than the actual overhead. This 20,000 have to add here, this under absorption. So it comes 17,83,000. And if we less selling and distribution expenses, 21,500 multiplied by 20, then you get 4,50,000, 4,30,000, and the contribution is 13,99,000. So if we less from that fixed factory and selling distribution overhead, we get this one, and then the profit would be 2,55,000. So here difference between a profit of absorption costing and profit of marginal cost. 1,000 and actual overhead was an actual 4,32,000, and actual overhead was less than the budgeted fixed overhead 48,000. So actual fixed overhead 3,84,000, and budgeted variable overhead 2,88,000. If we less, the actual overhead was higher than the budget 20,000 as per the question. So budgeted would be 3,08,000. So reconciliation of the profit, difference in profit 3 lakh minus 2,55,000, this one, so difference is 45,000. So due to fixed overhead being included in the closing stock, absorption costing is not in the marginal costing. So therefore difference in profit, fixed overhead rate, production minus sales, it is 18,28, 18,24, that's 45,000. Therefore difference profit is 45,000. Now to this last one, cost per unit hour traditional overhead versus ABC allocation. So company manufacturing two products as like previous, product A and product B, and the direct material 8 taka, 10 taka, and direct labor is here as 4 and 6. 1 unit of product A require 2 machine hour, and product B require 3 machine hours. The company has only fixed machine hour and run the capacity. Estimated indirect manufacturing cost is 8,25,000 to produce 22,000 unit of product A and 60,000 of product B. So requirement is that compute the predetermined overhead application rate. So what would be the overhead application rate? The predetermined overhead application rate is 3 taka, 3.683 taka. How? So total cost is 8,25,000 divided by the number of unit 22,000 and 60,000. What would be the cost of manufacturing 1 unit of each product on the traditional costing? Material as per the question 8 and B per unit. Direct material as per the question 8 and product B is 10. Direct labor 4 and 6. Look here, 4 and 6. Okay, this 4 and 6 is here, and that manufacturing overhead labor hour multiplied by 3.683 that we have received from here. So 3.83 multiplied by 2 labor hour for product A, it comes 7.36, and B is 11 taka. Okay, so total cost per unit is 1937 and 27.5. It's okay. Now there are some compliance with the customers regarding product cost. The MD feels that there may be a product cost cross subsidization. He called upon the accountant and asked him to apply VC with the following information. That means activities is 3 activities here: machine setup, a purchase order, and a material receipt. Traceable cost is 3 activities on 3 activities. 3 cost is here, and total activities is number of activities, product allocation of product A and product B is here. So compute activity rate. We see that activity rate is here, 3 component, machine setup, cost 4,50,000 divided by total activities 4,200, and we'll get the rate per machine setup is 107.14. Same way, purchase order 550, material received per 50. Okay. Now compute overhead cost per unit of product A and B. So if we add all, then we will get the product cost, product overhead cost. Now the overhead cost, machine setup, activity rate, we just calculate here, this one. Okay. 1,200 of machine setup, purchase order is 290, and a material received is 3,000. Okay. So if we put this data in here and multiply with this figure, then we'll get overhead cost, this one. So we will get 3,33,217 taka for product A. It is the overhead cost. And if we divide the number of unit, 22,000, we will get cost per unit is 15 taka 15 paisa. Okay. And same way, we can calculate the cost per unit of overhead is 8 taka 20 for product B. Now requirement is compute the total cost as per the ABC product A and B. So product material cost is same as we have seen previous, and labor also the same. Now manufacturing overhead is 15.15 we're putting here and 8.20 putting here. So cost per unit is 27.15 and 24.20. So if we compare based on the activity, based on the traditional product cost A is 19.37, but based on that 27.15. And product cost per unit is product B is 27.05 and now 27. So here's there's some difference. So management can rethink the selling price of the product. So that's all for today. We have discussed the activity-based costings. It is a part of overhead allocation. It is the method of overhead allocation. So with this domain of calculated unit cost, so we discuss activity-based costing today. So yeah, I think it's all for today, and inshallah we will meet with you again with my next module. Till then, Allah Hafiz.